Thanks for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet podcast. I'm Matt Reese. I'm the editor of Ohio's Country Journal, joined by the amazing Dusty Sonnenberg with the Ohio AgNet and Ohio's field leader. And today we welcome Rebecca Hardiker. She is from Clark County and the Ohio Fairs Queen. Thanks for being with us today, Rebecca.
Thanks so much for having me. It's an honor to be here.
And you do double duty. You're in the Army National Guard and also serving as Ohio's Fair Queen. And so I'm sure I've had a pretty interesting year since you took over in your Fairs Queen position since January, right?
Yes, it has been so amazing, being able to get to all of the fairs that I've been to and definitely see both aspects of the agricultural side with representing the fairs for county and independent level, as well as for the state fair, and then also combining that with the military and Army National Guard and the duties on my end for that.
And so we're going to talk with Rebecca about all kinds of things, including fair and the Army National Guard. But first, Dusty, we got to get to a little bit of audio. Dale Minyo was out and talked with Micah Mensing about the Grow Next Gen program, and he's an ambassador for the program. And that program has done a lot to showcase agriculture and get it into the schools and sort of bring the farm into the classroom, and done a lot of exciting stuff there. In addition, Dale talked with Evan Hahn with Farm Credit Mid-America, and October's National Cooperative Month. So there's all kinds of things going on there, and plenty of interesting things to highlight, including patronage, which is a big part of co-ops and a big part of the discussion there with Farm Credit Mid-America. So good audio from there, and that's definitely worth checking out. And that's coming up next in the podcast. Now, back to Rebecca. Is there any interesting things you would like to highlight with regard to just getting out to the fairs this year? You were at quite a number of fairs and really made the rounds this summer. What were some of the highlights?
Yeah, I was able to get to roughly 48 fairs, and that's not including the multiple trips that I was out at my own fair, Clark County, as well as for the state fair, multiple times I was out there. I would say definitely for some of the highlights that I really enjoyed, that I honestly had no idea that I was going to get into something at these fairs. I would say that the horse racing and the harness racing was honestly something that I just started to fall in love with going to these fairs. At Clark County, we used to have it many years ago and we don't anymore. So that's not something that I grew up with watching. So being able to, have the access to these fairs and see all the different things that they have that my fair doesn't, or similarities that my fair also has with these fairs. I think it was really nice to be able to see that.
I thought they had it all at the Clark County Fair. I thought everything happened there.
They do. Yes, it is such an amazing fair. But yes, the harness racing, unfortunately, we haven't had that for a number of years. So maybe it's something we can get back here soon. I think that would be a great addition to the fair. But another thing that I really liked at the fairs was being able to go into all the different like youth agricultural buildings and their horticulture buildings. I think that really shows off and showcases all of the hardworking projects that the students and the kids can do, because the fair is more than just the animals. There's all of the other still projects, miscellaneous side, so pretty much anything that doesn't involve animals. And I think that being able to have those abilities, whether that's sewing and baking, or whether that's mechanical, or whether that's welding, or whether that's growing food or crops or doing a room decoration, I think that that's really an important skill for these kids to be able to, embark on if that's something that they're interested in doing. So I really liked going in there. They put up little booths and they display their projects from what they've done for that year, and they show their end result, their starting result, like what they did. So I really liked being able to see that side of things.
Excellent. And we're going to have much more from Rebecca here coming up next as we continue on with the podcast. Thanks all for tuning in to the Ohio AgNet podcast. It'll be coming out in digital today up at ocj.com, and you can